Once upon a time, there was a young man who worked diligently at a factory. His mentor, an old and wise technician, taught him 3 key lessons: talk less, do more, and never stop developing his skills in every aspect of the factory's operations. 10 years later, the old man retired, and the young man became a technician himself. He continued his work with the same dedication and diligence he had been taught. But over time, something troubled him. One day, he decided to visit his mentor. The old man noticed his former apprentice seemed unhappy and asked, "What's troubling you?" The young man sighed deeply, pouring his heart out. "I have followed your advice all these years. No matter the task, I keep quiet and focus on the job. I know I've done good work at the factory, and I've mastered every skill. But what I don't understand is, why have others who don't have my experience been promoted while I'm still stuck earning as little as I did when I was an apprentice?" The old man paused and asked, "Are you sure you've made yourself indispensable to the factory?" "Yes," the young man nodded confidently. The mentor paced thoughtfully before giving his advice. "Take a day off," he said. "For whatever reason you like, it's time to give yourself a break." The young man was surprised by this suggestion, but after thinking about it, decided to follow the advice. He thanked his mentor and quickly made a time-off request. When he returned to work after his day off, the factory manager called him into the office. "Things did not go well while you were gone," the manager said. "Problems arose that normally only you would handle, and no one else knew how to solve them." Realizing the young man's importance, the manager decided to promote him to the position of senior technician to thank him for his hard work and encourage him to continue. The young man was grateful for his mentor's wisdom. He thought to himself, "This must be the secret to success." From then on, whenever the young man felt like he wasn't being appreciated, he would take a day off. And every time, the next day, the situation would improve. He began to believe that this pattern would always work in his favor. But one day, much to his shock, he arrived at the factory to find that he had been locked out. His employment had been terminated. In disbelief, and with a wounded sense of pride, he went back to his mentor. "Why did I lose my job?" he asked. "Did I not do everything you told me to do?" "Actually," the mentor replied, "you only heard half the lesson." The young man looked confused. "Half the lesson?" The old man nodded. "Yes. You understood that no one pays attention to a light bulb that's always on. People only notice it when it goes off, realizing how much they depend on it. But you left before hearing the second half." "What was the second half?" the young man asked, his voice filled with regret. The mentor spoke slowly to drive the point home. "The second half, and more important than the first, is that if a light bulb goes off too often, eventually it will be replaced with one that is more reliable. No one wants a light bulb they can't count on to provide light consistently." He paused for a moment, then continued. "This isn't just about work, but also life. Think about your friends and family, those you might take for granted because they are always there. What would happen if one day they were no longer around? Don't wait for that day to come. Appreciate them now." "The same goes for your work," the old man advised. "Don't allow yourself to be taken for granted, but don't stop doing what you do just because things don't go your way. Find balance in your life. Life in return will reward you with that same balance." And that is the lesson of this story. Balance is the key to success in work and in life. Thank you for watching, and stay blessed.